live. And as everyone knows, we're missing somebody. But I'm sure she'll be along shortly. All right. We have terminology for people like Chris. All right. I call him time challenged. Okay. So anyway, we have a really good topic for tonight, by the way, and it's going to be on the high velocity dryer seizures. So we're going to give people, a couple minutes to kind of like jump on here. But in the meantime, I've got a lot. I've got a lot more messages about Cecil than anything. Okay. So Cecil is here in my office. He's sleeping on his bed. He's covered up in blankets. He's snoozing. Okay. So anyway, so what happened with Cecil was is that he had an attack of pancreatitis and flipped the switch on diabetes, and he went right into ketone acidosis because couldn't get it regulated fast enough. And so he spent a little over a week at the emergency hospital. But he's home, he's fine. He is we found the right dosage for the insulin. He's eating well, so he's good. So for all the well wishes for Cecil, he appreciates it. I appreciate it. He's doing good. But he's home.
Good.
Okay,
Back to
so
everyone. Hi, Aaron.
so the topic, yeah, Aaron, I'm really glad he's okay. And you know what? It's what we got credit cards for. We will pay that off. But anyway, so the topic tonight, because Angie and I were talking before we got started, because both of us have had issues in flying, okay, because of sinuses. For me, it's sinuses. For Angie, it's something else. And I'm going to let Angie go into that. And so we started talking about high velocity dryer seizures, right? So I'm of the mindset after talking now to Angie that there's basically this happens one of two ways. One is an environmental seizure, all right, and that's a true seizure. Lights on, no one's home. They pee, they poop. They have the aura, they have the seizure, they have the post-ictal phase. So they have all the stages of the seizure. Okay, but there's also another reason for it. Like anything, there's not always necessarily one reason for anything. All right. So Angie, explain. Let's explain right from the very beginning. All right. Start with the
Okay.
problems with your ears and the conversation that you had with your ear doctor.
Okay. So my ears, I have 80% hearing loss in my left ear and 20% hearing loss in my right ear. And this is caused by repetitive blunt force trauma to the head, which led to repetitive perforations of the eardrum. So, and that happened over a number of years, and it happened all the time. So as a result, scar tissue builds up. So I was talking to my doctor, and I had asked about hearing aids, and I said, well, would that fix it? Would it help? Because I don't, it's not that I can't hear, it's that I can't understand because it comes in muffled. And she said, well, that's just going to amplify the sound, so it's not going to solve the problem. In our ears, there are villi, and it's the same in a dog's ear. There are little villi, and these little villi are what move around when sound comes into your ear. Okay. So as we age, these villi stiffen. Okay. And they become hard. So that is why we lose hearing as we age. Okay. Because the villi aren't moving as they did once. All right. So I have so much scar tissue in my ears that the villi can't move. It's better, of course, on the right side than it is on the left. On the left, I have almost nothing. But, and So, and I said, well, sometimes it hurts. We were talking about flying, and it's actually painful. And when there is an air pressure temperature seasonal, then it can cause me a great deal of problems, one being vertigo. And that's something I just get to have every year. Yay! So I had mentioned this and said, is this, would it be something that dogs would experience too, the hardening of the villi when they have repeated, say, ear infections, which would cause the same perforation of the ear? And she said, yes, that they would have the same sort of, they can, but the problem is it's scar tissue. Oh, Erin asked if they can do surgery to clear the scar tissue. They have done it. They've done it twice, but the problem is it's scar tissue and it grows back because it's scar tissue. And so you can go in there and remove the scar tissue, and it lasts me generally 3 to 4 years. So I can hear well for 3 to 4 years. And that's it. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
So I asked her, well, what about dogs? Do dogs have the same issues with the villi as they age, where they become stiff? And she said, yes, of course. They're a mammal. Our bodies are very similar. And I said, well, I wonder because, and I discussed the high velocity dryer seizure with her. And she said, well, seizures are very different. And I said, no, I understand that. But sometimes it's not actually a seizure. It's something else that's triggering. And she said, well, because when I use a high velocity dryer, on occasion, say I'm not wearing ear protection, it can be exceedingly painful, like exceedingly painful. And part of that is due to the fact my ear's all messed up. And so I said, would you think that would be the same for dogs? And I explained the happy hoodie and all that. And she said that, yes, that could very well lead to a dog literally freaking out. Because how does a dog express that they have had repetitive ear infections, which cause to repetitive, perforations of the eardrum? And that leads to scar tissue. The scar tissue leads to pressure that are on the villi. As they age, the villi get stiff. And then you have pain when the vibration, so if there's vibration or pressure put here on my neck, it can actually be very painful. So those shiatsu things, you go to the Bed Bath and Beyond or one of those, and you sit in those chairs and you're like, oh, this is so great. Well, one time I had sat in the chair and it was doing the thing. Oh my God. It was like somebody just put a hammer into my brain. Right. It could be the dryer decibels, or it may be not necessarily the decibels, but the vibration itself by the stiffening of the villi, and that actually caused the pain. And that pain could be one of the reasons for a dryer seizure in an elderly dog. Because like us, those villi stiffen and they harden, just like ours do when they age. And especially for the cockers, all those dogs that have chronic
retrievers who always have, well, I'm not going to say always, tend to be prone to ear infections because a lot of the dogs that swim.
Right.
Yeah.
We groomed this one golden retriever. They lived in the lake. I would bring them in. They bring them into the house. They'd close the door. And literally, the second anyone's back was turned, that dog was out the door and into the lake.
That was her. I mean, she's a human doctor. She's not a vet. But that is, Kat, that is what she believed, is that the stiffening of the villi is could happen with dogs that even had a normal ear, because they all get it, just like we do, just like people. The villi in our ears stiffen. So, yeah, it happens. And it's very normal that that does happen with the villi. That's why they lose hearing. They don't have the sound, doesn't create that vibration to notify their eardrum that to move. Okay, because sound comes in, those villi move, and that signifies that there is sound and you're supposed to be hearing something. So that's why they sit and they look at you like, I have no idea what you said. I know you said something, I think. Was it to me? That's the old dog thing. And that's how I feel most of the time. So if I give you that look and I look like the like cricket, huh? Was that for me? I'm not really sure. That's why.
All right. And we actually had another topic we wanted to discuss. So if anyone has any questions on the dryer seizures, pop them in. And it doesn't matter. Just pop them in wherever you are. And if you're watching this later and you have a question, tag one of us. Okay. So, okay, going into the topic we wanted to talk about today. All right. About paying for convenience. Okay. And then you know what? Mobile groomers, we get it. Household groomers, we get it as far as grooming, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about us personally. Holidays are coming up, right? A lot of us are going to be busy. Things still have to get done. Paying for convenience, all right? So I could have the windshield wipers on my Toyota needed to be replaced. Okay. I could have gone over to like AutoZone. I could have bought them, could have installed them. But you know what? I got to figure out which ones I need, and then I got to buy them, then I got to come home, and then I got to put them in, right? And what would they have cost me? $10, $5?
40 bucks. 40 bucks for a good set. 40 for the pair, a good set.
Okay. All right.
40 plus for a good pair. But your point is, some places by me, part stores by me, will put it in for you.
I haven't even made the point yet. I pulled into the Toyota dealership. Told them I needed new wipers. All right. And they're saying, oh, you know what? Why don't you just get the factory refills and we'll install them for you? Okay. Parts department went out. I was there. I didn't have to figure out which ones I needed. They figured out which ones I needed. We took it to my car. I installed them. And they were $10 a piece. Right? And I went on my way.
And that seems cool. Mary, I think I know you too well now, so I knew where your brain was going. So I just jumped ahead. Because, yeah, it might have been cheaper at Walmart. But by me, some of the auto parts stores will also install it for you. So you go in there, you say, I have this, and it needs that, and here's my card. And the guy will come and put it on your car.
Exactly.
It's cheaper at Walmart or Target, but your time is worth something.
Exactly. All right. And you know what? And putting refills in is not that they're difficult, but you got to slide them in.
It's a pain. And if it's cold or dark, it always seems to be cold or dark.
So the point being is sometimes that even if it's a couple of bucks more, paying for convenience, there's value that you have on your time. So instead of coming home with a thing of wiper refills, and then, well, for me, I'm not going to do it, and it my husband, all right, and say, hey, here you go do it, okay? And then, of course, it's never a freaking easy it's never like I'll just go do things. Well, I need someone to hold the flashlight for me so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm like, um, yeah. So, Angie, what might be, or Chris here, because you know what, I'm now a retired groomer, right? What might be some of the things that, as groomers, that might be that we pay for now, but it's going to make our lives a little bit different? And hey,
My
let me
cleaner.
just, before we even get into that, anyone who thinks they're going to get a hairdresser appointment that they didn't already book it, good luck.
Yeah.
They
My
are as
cleaner.
busy as we are because everybody wants to get their stuff done before the holidays. You might get lucky maybe the first week of December, but that might be about it.
Yeah. My cleaner that comes to the salon every week.
Yeah.
Love her. She's amazing. She deep cleans the whole salon. She does the floors and the walls and the mirrors and the windows and all the things. And so nice. And I walk in and it's like, la. And I write her a check and I tell her I love her and I give her a tip every week. Every week. Yeah, I will gladly pay for that convenience because it takes her, I think, like 2.5 hours. I guarantee you it would take me longer than that.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because I would be like, oh.
So Catherine makes a really good point because you know what? As busy as we are, everybody else is busy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So those express fees. Hey, you want me to work your dog start to finish and in and out because you've got things to do? Yeah.
Yep.
But on the flip side of that, there might be people who would like to leave the dog with you a little longer because they're shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Daycare fees.
I had both of those today, actually. One that wanted to pick up at 5 because she was going to work, and one that wanted him back. So, okay, charged them both a little bit.
Yeah.
They were happy to pay it.
Okay, we also have towel service and taxi service. So I'm assuming what you mean by taxi service is where for shop owners
Drop off.
pick up and drop offs.
You know what? There should be, I think somebody had the idea of like Uber, but for your dogs, where you could just call a dog Uber and be like, hi, this is Chucky. Chucky is going to the groomer. I already plugged in the address. I've contacted them. You just need to go. This is Chucky Johnson.
Yep.
And text me a picture of my groomer holding Chucky going.
Yeah.
All right. So extra bows and bandanas.
And
I have a lot of clients who would buy extra bows from me so that they would have fresh bows every time somebody came over.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I have to say, when I was working in a salon with my husband, we did, I don't know, I think we eventually did it once a week, and we should have done it much sooner. We should have done it once a week is the cleaning service for the salon. I cannot tell you every time I didn't, I regret. Because they do a way better, she did a way better job than I did. Number one. Number two.
She's not exhausted from working all day.
She's not exhausted from working all day. Like, I would do it on a day where, like, I had off the next day and it was the end of the week. I was exhausted. It was a long week. I did the bare minimum. You know what I mean? I cleaned up the hair, made it so that it only looked like a really low grade tornado hit it, and paid her a little bit extra. And that 2 hours I got to go have dinner was priceless. So
yeah, I love my cleaning.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. She does a beautiful job.
Well, unless of course you're Catherine,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
she's owned cleaning services. So yeah, possibly another income avenue stream for you, Kat.
Listen, Catherine, I come from a long line of bad housekeepers on my mother's side. On my side, I have Grandma Bertha from Germany, who I never met, but I somehow, as I said that, had the feeling that she would come back from her grave and like haunt me for implying she was a bad cleaner. So I didn't get any of those genetics. But
Okay. All right. So I also come from a long line, actually a very short line of, I'm going to say short line of 4 housekeepers, because my grandmother would instill fear in my mother when she would come to visit. All right. Literally, the house that when I grew up in was chaotic. All right. But when my grandmother was coming to visit, that house got cleaned. Everybody pitched in, and it was like this mad dash. So once, a couple times a year, my room got cleaned. And I was responsible for that. And let me tell you something. All you need is that German, she was German also, walking into your room one time and then cleaning it with you for you to make sure you did it the correct time before she came.
Yeah, see, I'm like Kat. I mean, neurotically clean. And my staff knows that I'm neurotically clean, like neurotically clean. And they get that. So during the week, it is maintained the way it should be because I have an operating manual that details. I'm Polish. So I come from a long line of like super over cleaners. Yeah, there isn't a bit of the house you can't literally eat off of. It's that clean.
I do think it's an Eastern European thing because Catherine just said she's also German. It's gotta be. It's because that's the one.
No, not necessarily. My mother-in-law is Spanish, Puerto Rican Spanish. And I'm going to tell you how I got that woman never to come to my house again, ever. Okay? All right? She would come to my house and literally, she would like clean the inside of my dishwasher. It was terrible. All right? So I had made
You can do that with Kool-Aid, by the way.
Don't come to my house, Angie. I'm going to disappoint you.
Come to my house. Clean. Help me clean.
I can cook you up in like 3 hours. It'll be awesome.
Okay, so I made a roast beef and with the gravy. And at that time, we had Kira. Kira's my chef in Malamute. And she was my pre-dishwasher. Okay? So after I emptied the gravy, some of the gravy that was like still stuck along the pan, I just put the pan on the floor for Kira to work her magic before I put it into the dishwasher. My mother-in-law saw that, and she never came to my house ever again after that. My husband was so thrilled, by the way. I would have known that is all it took. That pan would have been on the floor the first time she came to our house.
Yep. Yeah, but I've been in people's houses and they have used their dinner plates as ashtrays. And I'm like, okay.
Why?
All done. I don't know.
They were done eating though, right? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yep.
I mean, there are grosser things. I mean, technically on a scale, the dog pre-dishwasher is grosser than that if you're done eating, but it just seems disrespectful to do to your own dishes. I don't know. I don't know. Because what's the difference between that and burnt food? I don't know. But still, it seems.
I don't know, carcinogenics.
I can Google what's the equivalent of one hamburger cooked on a charcoal grill versus how many cigarettes. Because so.
Go ahead, Google that. We would like to know.
You had to throw it out there.
Because I would love me some char-broiled hamburger.
But yeah, convenience, if you're willing to pay for it, and if it has value, which is what I always say to everybody in the salon, they have to see the value.
Yeah.
We can charge them whatever it is if they see the value in that price. And that's the thing with convenience. If you see the value in that price, so if they see the value in what your convenience is, like for Christmas, I plan on ordering Christmas dinner.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, yes. Well,
I am not cooking this year. I don't have the time. I don't have the desire. I have too many plates in the air. I've got too many things going on. I am ordering Christmas dinner.
well,
It is worth the convenience for me.
all the groomers can be jealous because this is the first year I am taking vacation on Thanksgiving, meaning I am going someplace where the sun is shining, Cancun, and someone else will be cooking me. Yeah, yeah. I fully expect to have turkey on the beach.
All right. Well, we want pictures of turkey on the beach so we can all go.
Yeah, we do.
I wish I was having turkey on the beach. I freeze my butt off. So yes, we want pictures of this. We want to memorialize that you get to go and do that, and we're like, So yeah, we need that.
Okay, cool. And I couldn't do it the first couple of years I was retired because it was, the process of moving, and then COVID.
Right.
Oh no, Catherine, don't you worry. I will be posting pictures. So while everybody can, and trust me, I have been there. I have done that. I have paid my dues. I have worked. Well, I never worked Thanksgiving, and I actually never worked the day before Thanksgiving. But you know what? I've done my dues.
Mm.
All right, we are coming up on a half hour, and Chris still doesn't have an answer to that.
That's because it's a complicated answer. But both smoked and grilled foods do contain carcinogens because grilled food is put directly above the flames, which create heterocyclic amines, which is a carcinogen and created when animal fat is hit directly by flames. So there's more science to that, but it's apparently not as quick a Google answer as I thought it was, but it's still a Google answer. I'm just saying, it's still there.
Catherine, I will absolutely have purple toes because, like, one of the first things I'm going to be doing is getting a manicure and a pedicure in the spa there.
And by the way, I am 100% also ordering our Thanksgiving meal. So yeah. And you know what, Catherine, the studies are looking like, okay, you can have it occasionally. If you're having grilled meat 3 times a week, there might be other health issues than just carcinogens.
The grilling.
So every so often.
Okay.
All things in moderation, including moderation.
Especially moderation.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up today. There will be no live stream next week because, next week I'm going to be in Cancun.
Yes, you will.
All be going. Oh.
And so we will see everybody in 2 weeks. All right, both of you guys need to hang around after we finish up. So
Yes.
We'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Listen, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Whether you're cooking or you're enjoying time with your family, whatever it is, have fun and enjoy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Bye.